Today I'm flying the dreaded 737 MAX out of London Gatwick to Stockholm, and I'm wondering, is this plane best avoided, or is it actually kind of a nice ride? And how about Norwegian? Is it a cheap and cheerful good time on their MAX, or not so much? The MAX was the plane everyone was afraid of, and then everyone forgot about being afraid of it, and now they're afraid of it again. It certainly keeps things interesting. Let's check it out. In the terminal now at London Gatwick, and I've been demoted to simple passenger status from my earlier VIP treatment, getting taken around airside with the airfield operations team, doing a video for Flight Radar. I'll link that video below. It was such a cool day, and what a lovely group of people here, and so nice to see all they do and how passionate they are about keeping this airport running and safe. My turn now to do a little video about flying back to Stockholm, and I've picked Norwegian's 737 MAX. In fact, I didn't really have a choice. This was the flight. If I wanted to leave from Gatwick and not have to go to a different airport, this was the way home tonight. 7:55 p.m. flight, kind of late, puts me in at 11:30, and it looks like it's going to be delayed. We're showing on time still, but I can see the airplane is landing like 5 minutes before our departure time, so it's not looking good for me getting a lot of sleep tonight. But we're on the 737 MAX, which I thought would be interesting to show. First of all, I've never been on Norwegian's 737 MAX before, and I hardly ever fly Norwegian either, so it's interesting from that perspective. Also, the 737 MAX, of course, very much in the news lately. A lot of you out there are actively avoiding the aircraft from what I hear, or if not actively avoiding, then, trying to book away if it's convenient. I'm curious to know, let me know in the comments if you are trying not to fly this plane, if you'll book less convenient flights or more expensive flights in order to avoid the MAX, or if you're kind of going about business as usual, which obviously is what I'm doing. And of course, there's the aspect that I'm hoping that the 737 MAX has people all riled up to the point where they'll click on my video more. So thank you if you have done that. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this little look at the 737 MAX and Norwegian's version of that aircraft. Probably won't be much service. It's gonna be dark, but we'll try to make a fun video for you. When your departure time is 7:55 p.m. and the gate info is due to be shown at 7:49, that's never a good sign. Sure enough, the inbound aircraft is due in very late, and yet they're not updating the departure time on this end, and in typical airline fashion won't update it until well after the real departure time has passed. Delays happen, that's fine. Is it too much to ask for clear info about it? And there's our brand new MAX 8. First impression of the cabin is really good. The seats are very slimline, but they look nice, not only new and clean, but a nice shape too. The carpet is nice, and the mood lighting is nice. The legroom is perfectly good. It doesn't feel cheap and terrible in here, except for some of the aircraft's own fixtures in that Boeing way. The window shade, for example. But that's a minor thing. The mood lighting especially is a huge improvement over Norwegian's older 737-800s, where you're stuck with garish white lighting on a night flight. That really gets me down. There's plenty to choose from in the in-flight menu. It's not exactly cheap, but it doesn't feel like price gouging either. I get a panini, water, and chocolate for about 13 euros. It looks basic, but it tastes pretty good. And you know what? Just as on all my previous 737 MAX flights, I find this to be a really nice aircraft. It's smooth and quiet and very comfortable. Am I kind of thinking about all the issues that have been arising with the plane, vaguely wondering if the electrics and the engine anti-ice system are all okay? Yeah, a bit, but it's not really affecting my experience. Too bad about all that, but this is a damn nice ride. The only thing you could really fault it for are these too low 737 windows, so you have to bend your neck awkwardly to look out, but you know, it's not ruining my day or anything. An easy couple of hours later, we're descending into Stockholm.
Välkomna till Stockholm Arlanda flygplats. Vi ber att du blir sittandes med säkerhetsbältet fastspänt så håller mittgången samt nödutgångarna fria från allt handbagage.
I love the look of these with the red nose and big engines. In case you're curious, this aircraft was delivered to Norwegian on a direct flight from Seattle to Copenhagen on November 15th, 2023. Pretty cool, eh? Well, what can I say about the 737 MAX? Like every other time I've taken it, which is really only a handful, it was a very smooth, lovely ride. The plane feels new and nice and fresh inside. It's quiet, it's comfortable. Although it's a bit of a stretch to say it's comfortable because those seats on Norwegian are very thin, and after about an hour you start to feel them. At first it's fine, but then tried to get a bit of sleep. It wasn't really happening, and in the second hour I could feel how thinly padded that seat was. Not ideal. But the plane itself, lovely. Although also, the only thing with the MAX is that characteristic that's present in a lot of newer Boeing aircraft where it's kind of done in a cheap, plasticky, flimsy feeling way. Just the interior fittings, which is kind of in line with what we hear about Boeing approach to quality, although it's not a safety issue, but it all feels a little bit cheap. The window shade kind of wouldn't stay up, kind of rattly. It's a shame about that. Nevertheless, beautiful plane, and this one was brand new. Looked really nice with the red nose. I had a nice flight. I'll continue flying 737 MAXs for the time being, and like I said, I'm curious to hear from you. Are you avoiding the 737 MAX, or is it kind of okay? Are you willing to fly it? Or do you love it? Maybe you love it and you stand firmly behind it. I haven't heard from someone with that point of view yet. Anyway, it's past midnight here in Stockholm. I gotta drive home now, so wish me luck. I'm out of breath. Thanks for coming along. See you on the next one.